So with all the projects, there's a lot of steps, and once those steps run out, you know you're done with the project. So that project, the Hellcat swap Miata, if you haven't seen it thus far, you're on the wrong video. You need to go back to the beginning of the entire playlist and start from the beginning. But we are wrapping it up, and that's what we're doing today. And after this project is done, I still hope to see you around.
And now, you're watching the Father's Day OTPHJ channel of YouTube. Welcome to BodeVision.
So what is up and welcome. Thank you so much for joining me on another video. Now before we get started, I just wanted to throw a reminder out there. If this pertains to you, I want you to hit that bell, hit the notification thing, join the notification squad, because YouTube, all this boring stuff, if you want to make sure you see every one of the videos, make sure you hit the bell and that'll solve that problem. So what's not a problem is the way that this car looks. I'm so hyped on how it came out. Looking really good. Bumper, everything. So I just kind of want to start continuing on doing what I was doing in the last video, putting pieces on there. I'm going to get the taillights put on, the back bumper put on, and then we're going to get into sanding and buffing and a little bit more of that stuff. So as you can see, I got the tail lights on, these little reflectors on, also the one that goes right here, and then the reflector over there. I still got to put the antenna back up, and then also this trim back here, this trim right there. Stuff just keeps going back on, and everything I want to put back on, I want to make sure I clean it as best as I can before it goes on, because we don't want to put dirty parts on the clean car. For example, one of the taillights had a bunch of primer on it, so I went ahead and I buffed that out, got it real clean, got it looking good. Now the next thing I want to do, I want to put the hood on. So I already got these little latch mechanism things on here, looking real good. And then on the back side, I had to make sure this hole was big enough to get that lock ring in there. So what I ended up doing is I put the lock ring in first, and as it was loose, and then I threaded on the other piece from the other side, and then eventually it sandwiched it together. So that's looking really good. Now with putting these latches on, or whatever you call those, it's gonna take a little, trial and error. I don't know how high these have to be, but they're real loose. We're gonna adjust them as we get there, and eventually, hopefully, we get this thing looking right. So as you can see, we got the hood on. It's looking really good, and also these little things, it's going to be hard for me to do them one-handed, but if you can see, the button's not pushed in right now, so this is nice and easy to pick up. Same with this side. So with two hands, obviously it'd be nice and easy and good, and then when you want to close it, pop it down. That's good. That's good to go. And then also, wet sanding and buffing is so kind of tedious. So what I ended up doing is I went along and I did some of the major areas that really needed it, because the paint came out so good, so I could just kind of do some areas. So if you can see, that's looking really good. And then what I ended up actually sanding that down with is I just used my DA, and then I went ahead with my 1000 grit, and then I did a 1500 grit, and this is 3M. This is Trizact or Trizact. It's kind of like a different style of sandpaper. It's a little bit different. It's kind of cool. It's more of a synthetic product. And then I went ahead from the 1500 to a 3000, and then I finished off with the 5000. Now I also had this little pad in between my DA and the sandpaper, so that way everything was nice and smooth. I'm not going to get any hard rough edges that I gotta buff out, and we are looking really good. So the next thing that I want to do, I feel like it's kind of weird how the orange just boom ends off right here. So I actually have over here, right by Pepto, I have this little rubber trim that I'm going to go ahead and place around the entire edge. And now, since those last clips, it's actually Monday, that last stuff was filmed Friday. I hope you had a good Father's Day if you did, and if you're a father, all that stuff. So what I want to do now is put that trim on, because the car's all waxed, it's all ready to go. Man, so we are looking solid. Now, before he actually comes and picks up the car, I'm gonna wanna wipe down the entire thing one final time, clean off the dash, clean all the glass, kind of get it cleaned up so that way it's nice and presentable. He didn't bring me a really dirty car. Well, maybe he did. I don't know. I don't remember. But either way, I just want to put a little bit of effort into making it look that much better, because having the car freshly painted and a dirty windshield, that doesn't go together. I want to give him back with a nice and clean windshield. So, as you can see, we got the trim going on right there, and I also made it for right here. And the reason why I needed that, if you can see, it actually is sticking out quite a bit, so we did need to actually go ahead and run that. And then also the badges that go back here, the one right there, there, and there. Karr had mentioned to me that he might get some custom badges made, so I'm just gonna leave them all off and then he can do whatever he wants with them. And now what I want to do, I want to get the car turned around, because I don't know if you ever noticed, or I don't know if you actually follow me on Instagram, I'm trying to get all my pictures on Instagram to kind of look like nice and uniform with the shop in the background. It's, I don't know, something that people do on Instagram. They call it their grid. So go follow me and go check me out over there. It's just at BodeVision. So I'm going to get the car turned around to take that picture, and I can't put the bumper on because the way the exhaust is, if you can see right there and right there, you're gonna have to do something else with the exhaust, rework it a little bit, get it to turn around, because before on the old bumper, it actually came right out the front. See right here, right there on that bumper, but it's not gonna be like that on this one. They're gonna have to do something different, like I'm saying. So I wanna get the car pulled out, take a thumbnail photo, then get the car back in there, backed in, then I'll throw the front bumper on. It's actually pretty wild. So I don't know exactly how I'm gonna get that thumbnail shot, but you guys saw it, and I know I wanted to make it a good one, so I know you're gonna like it. Man, this color out in the sun, is wild. Man, so we are looking so solid. Now the reaction from the owner, Karr, I'm gonna put his link in the description below. I don't know exactly if that's gonna be in this video. Well, it's not gonna be in this video, but I don't know if it's gonna be on this channel or his channel. I'm gonna let him decide that, because it's his car and everything, and I got my use out of it, the entire paint job. That was the agreement. But I'm sure it'll be in one of my videos, him picking it up. I'm just not sure what extent that's gonna be. So overall, man, this was a fun one. It was a great project. Everybody that's new to my channel, I appreciate you coming and checking it out. I'd really like to invite you to subscribe, hit the bell if you haven't already, and join me for all of my projects to come. I got a whole bunch of things coming. I got my Integra Project Pepto. I also got another YouTuber's car that I'm going to be doing really soon. That might even be next. So thank you guys so much for watching. Again, welcome. What's up? Like this video, comment, subscribe, hit the bell, do all the stuff. You know what it is, YouTube. I'll see you around. I'm out.